I hope that all of you know by now that I did porn.
Wait, what?
Olivia, come on.
I was like, no way. Anyway, okay, sorry. No
I
jokes.
shot porn for 8 months from 19 years old to on and off twice from 19 to 21 for a total of 8 months. I shot 4 months and then I quit and then I shot another 4 months. So a total of 8 months. Um, Today's episode is going to be discussing my experience as well as just a general consensus and stuff that you guys were able to find through research and knowing me and knowing other people who have worked in the sex industry. My question: advice when someone you had a good relationship and bond with, but they end up ghosting. I actually had this happen to me recently. I thought that I had like the best, what was it, like second hangout date with someone. Like I thought the chemistry was amazing, insane. This person followed up with me after the date like a few times, but never asked me to hang out again. And to me, that was just shocking because I thought that we just had the best time together. But clearly, they didn't feel the same way, or they would have asked me out again, right? But my advice for this is giving myself and you advice because I just went through a similar thing is if they wanted to, they would.
Okay, TikTok. Dude, she
But
literally came into my room.
I have something crazy to tell you.
She came into my room at like 4 a.m. with flowers and coffee, and she goes, Olivia, if he wanted to, he would. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Did you just find the love of your life? Like, why are you holding roses and a book? Like, what's going on? Like, where did you go for like 3 hours?
So, my ex was in New York at the same time as me. Why did I just say New York like that? And I wasn't going to hang out with him, but then I couldn't sleep. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just bring my dog over to his house at like 2 a.m. For him to meet my dog, like as friends on some friendship shit. And it was Easter. So I was like, why not? So I went over there. We like hung out for a little bit. Again, I just feel like I have to reiterate, didn't hook up, like just some real friendship type shit. I leave at like 4 a.m. And it said that Starbucks was going to be open. So I Ubered to Starbucks. Well, actually, I dropped off my dog. And then I Ubered to Starbucks because it was Easter. They were closed till 5 a.m. So there's a little subway underpass next to the Starbucks. I'm sitting there. People are coming up, down. I'm sitting there for like 30 minutes. And I have another 30 minutes to go. There is a man of the streets. And by that, I mean like a homeless man who I think was also maybe on meth, crack, whatever his drug of preference was, because the way that he was walking, he was just like,
I mean, he was tired.
He had a bouquet of flowers, though. And so, he's coming up the stairs all slowly like this, and I'm like, should I stay here? Should I have a conversation with him? I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let me have a conversation with this man. I'm going to be here for 30 minutes. I should brighten his day. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to talk to him because he can be intimidating. Yeah. Especially being a girl alone there, it can be scary to talk to a homeless man who seems like he's on drugs. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking talk to this man. I'm going to try to give him the best day of his life by making him feel important. So he comes up to me. Of course, he starts talking to me once he makes it to the top of the stairs. And, he's on drugs. So he's just like, just talking about crazy shit. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you can be anything that you want in life. Just hyping this man up, trying to give him some good old life advice. And he's just talking crazy. But eventually he's like, you like really like made my day. Like, you made me feel really special. I don't know why I got these flowers today, but I think that they're for you. And so he gives me these flowers, and I'm like, you know what? Starbucks is open now. Why don't you come in with me and I'll buy us both a coffee? So I go into Starbucks. I get us both caramel macchiato. We go out. I'm like, listen, I have a flight this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like, stay blessed. And I somehow in passing mentioned to him that I love to read. Now, this man has 3 bags of stuff, and that's all his possessions. He doesn't own anything. So 2 of the few things that he owned were flowers, and then he also had a Barack Obama book. And when I mentioned to him that I like to read, he gave me one of his only possessions, which was his Barack Obama book, and he had already given me the flowers. This man barely owns anything, and he gave me his only book, his only form of entertainment, and flowers. And I'm just like, this man who literally has nothing gave me everything.
Yeah.
If a fucking man wants to, he fucking will.
Yeah. And he was like, he probably stole the flowers from someone.
Like, honestly, he probably did steal the flowers or found them in a garbage can or something. But I'll tell you, I bought that book home with me because that book means so much, because this man gave me, he doesn't have anything, and he gave me everything that he had. And so I broke into the house at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, Olivia, if he wanted to, he would. I'm like, look, this man doesn't have anything, and he gave me everything that he has.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot what the question was. Wait, what was the question?
Oh, it was it was you felt like you had a connection or a good relationship and bond, and they end up ghosting. So the moral of the story is, if they wanted to be with you, they wanted to talk to you, they wanted to see with you, they would.
If they felt the same connection, or if they felt the thing.
Let it go.
Don't dwell on it. Don't sit there. I mean, we've all been there. I've definitely had guys I've talked to for like a month, and we've talked about like being serious, and all of a sudden, boom, nothing.
Yeah.
Me. So it happens to everyone, and the worst thing that you can do is sit there and dwell and be like, why not? Why me? Why didn't they pick me?
Or
not the right
get
person.
over it and move on.
Think of scenarios like, oh, maybe, because this I'm definitely guilty of, is not accepting that they didn't want me, and thinking like, oh, maybe they're just shy. Maybe they just love me too much. They're scared.
I'm like, I'm the opposite. I'm like, all right, well, I wasn't the one for them. I'm very like, to where
you're masculine, you're realistic.
I was also gonna say, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Everyone is put in your life for a reason, and also taken out for a reason. So if someone ghosts me or disappears from my life, I'm like, that was probably for the best, because if they had stayed, they probably would have made me more sad or brought like more toxic, negative. Yeah.
Could have kept you from doing something. So
So if someone leaves your life, all right, cool, let them.
Yeah.
It's a very simple saying, but I think I had spoken about this a while back on the podcast, is that I had to realize that everything happens for a reason. And, if someone isn't meant to be with you, it's for a reason. Like you said, it's stopping you from possibly maybe getting a future career, like a gig of like a dream gig, or traveling, or becoming friends with someone else, or honestly meeting your husband the next day, like your future, the love of your life.
You know what they say, don't let your boyfriend stop you from meeting your husband.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, if someone ghosts you, all right, bye. Mine is, how do you get back into dating and actually give guys a chance? I'm currently, it's been like 2 months since I've even like done anything at all. I don't talk to guys, whatever. So I guess this would be good for me, because I haven't gotten back into dating. But I feel like when I'm ready, I will know. My mistakes in the past is I would always have to have a guy to be texting, or have someone to hang out with, or just whatever. And that was very toxic for me. What I'm doing right now is I don't talk to really anyone. And I think that when you are ready and you focus on yourself, like we always say, and you're happy with yourself and your friends, you'll know when you're ready to get back into dating. When someone asks you on a date, you'll know, do I want to go? Do I like not want to go? You'll just know automatically. If you feel like you're kind of forcing it, then I think it's pretty much a given, like you're not ready. So to answer your question, like when you know, you'll know. Like when someone asks you and approaches you, on a date, if you're questioning it, you're probably not ready.
Yeah, and they're going to see that energy. I had actually talked to Amara about this, that energy is so big and people can sense it. You can be the least attractive person in the room, but if you have the biggest heart and the most open-minded, you are going to be the most beautiful person in someone else's eyes, because they are going to feel that energy, and like they're going to see that through you. And that's what makes you attractive. It's not your looks. It's and when you're not mentally ready to be out, trying to date guys or talk to guys, because you have a lot of self-reflecting to do, you have a lot of issues you need to fix, you have your own things going on in your life, they are going to see that whether you think that or not. Yeah. They will feel and sense that energy. I personally have been in a situation where I was trying to force a relationship, and I was talking to a guy, but I was not mentally there. I was not physically there. I was going through a lot, and I was portraying that anger or whatever issues I was having on him without even realizing it, to the point to where he left me and he was just like, yo, like, I can't do this with you. And I was so frustrated and angry at him. And then whenever a couple months later, I was like, you know what? I did some self-reflecting. I was like, wow, like I feel so bad that I put him through that, because I wasn't ready,
Yeah. My number one thing I always say is try to be a positive energy, no matter who you're around, no matter where you are. Even if you're having doubts or feeling off about something, maybe keep that for when you're at home, because you never know if your energy's off and you're feeling negative, it will affect who you're around and you can bring others down. But if you are a positive, radiant energy, people will know. I have actually had people come up to me out before being like, wow, I love your energy. One, it brings new friendships. It could also bring people who you want to date, and it also can uplift other people's moods that you don't know that need it.
Yeah. No, I try to stay home and I try not to talk or text people while I'm down or sad, just because I don't want to be seen in that light.
Yeah.
And you are good at that. You always told me that.
The other day I made a mistake and I went with you on that date while I was really upset about something else, and I ended up talking trash about someone. Like, now after the fact, I'm just like, that's not who I am as a person.
You feel like an idiot.
And I'm not just an idiot. I feel bad because it's outside of my character. And so I know, per se, when I'm in a bad mental state, I'm not going to go out and be around people again because it makes me act out of character, and that's not who I am.